Well, it's been a little while, hasn't it? I didn't stream last week due to some TMJ issues causing me jaw problems, but we're back this week, and we are going to be playing some RogueTech today. Now, this is a continuation of the stream series that we started a little while back, and I have an idea for a second stream series that I might start up at some point, but I want to flesh it out a little bit more before we really talk about it. So for right now, I think we're ready to just dive straight into this and hop into the command center and look for something that we want to run here. This is apparently a priority mission? Interesting. If we accept this contract, we'll be in for the duration of the campaign. Word of Blake offers us a series of contracts to support our forces as they invade, and we'll take a hit to our reputation if we leave before a resolution is reached. Well, maybe we should give it a go. I've not tried one of these flare-ups before. We can either choose to fight for Word of Blake or the Lyran Commonwealth. Honestly, Word of Blake will probably be a little bit easier because Allied Lances will be 6 instead of 4. So that's probably for the best. Let's go ahead and try this out. I've never tried a flare-up before in RogueTech. Let's give it a go. It's only a half skull, so it shouldn't be too bad. We've got a good amount of funds, and we've got some backup mechs too, if necessary. So let's get this going, and let's see how this goes. It's potentially going to be interesting. So we're going to get our raid contract notification in 1 day. Okay. Well, let's tick on forward then. Word of Blake has a mission for us, Commander. Trap sprung. Details will be provided en route, but seems to be a battle mission. Sounds urgent. If we pass, they'll have to dedicate one of their own units to it, weakening their war effort. Well, we'll go ahead and launch this. We'll see how this goes. Well, that's not half a skull. That is skull and a half. And there's no free priority salvage. We may want to just sit straight down the middle here. Blake has a cunning plan that needs outside help. Well, let's see how it goes. We'll do this first one. Now, we're definitely going to run our striker. We can only run 4 mechs. So we're currently running the Wolverine, one of our 2 hatchetmen. This one is the one running the LBX and the pulse lasers, as opposed to this one, which has the AC-10 and the medium lasers. This one's just fundamentally worse. So we're going to run this as is. Let's see how this goes. It might require more firepower than that. Darius is probably wrong. Darius is usually wrong anyway. So let's go ahead and drop this, and we'll see how it goes. It's going to be exciting, for sure. That said, if Word of Blake has an Allied Lance here, it won't be that bad. We'll see how it goes. By the way, I want to point out, in order to load up the game initially, I started it loading while we were in the preview there. It took like a solid 8 minutes to load. Oh, RogueTech. Oh, RogueTech. So we're going to go ahead and deploy this. We'll see what we're up against. We know very little, except that we're going to be against Steiner. So we need to destroy the enemy units. We're getting a number of reports from agents on the ground of a powerful mech sporting Lyran colors. A single mech operating on its own, out in the middle of nowhere, sounds like a trap. Our plan is to spring this trap, and see who comes to investigate. Engage the mech, intercept the forces the Lyran Commonwealth sends to defend it, and destroy all of them. Forewarned is forearmed, sure, but it's still meant to be a trap. This could get dicey.
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay. Let's see how this goes.
Command interface initiated.
Well, that's an interesting camera angle. Okay. We're in the area where the Lyran mech was sighted. Move up and make contact. Let's see what sort of trap this is. Stay alert, Commander. Okay.
Got a gyro acting up. Never mind. I got it.
Okay. This is definitely some awkward positioning here. We don't really know where the enemy units are. We could spawn way up here, and this is probably safest for us to spawn up in this corner. We can make our way down this hill slowly, and we can pot shot from up here with our Hollander. We also see this is the recommended deploy. Making our way properly down this hill would take a very long time. I'd love to deploy over here. This would be the safest deploy, but also a very slow one. So we need to know if we deploy here, it's going to take quite a while to make our way all the way down this. We may want to just deploy where it recommends. Although, not exactly in those spots, necessarily. I'll do it manually. So we'll deploy here, something like that. We're in cover, and this is the edge of the map here, where we know there's no enemy units up here, because we're able to deploy there. So that should be fine. Our dropship coming through the rocks. I like it. Okay. So we see an enemy stiletto over here. A stiletto isn't too threatening. There's also a chasseur over here with dual ballistic weapons. And that's all we see for the moment.
Holding for
Okay.
tactical advantage.
We're going to reserve past phase 3 for, or phase 13 for sure. Not phase 3.
Picking up a new sensor
Yeah.
trace.
Reinforcements
Looks like
aren't
enemy
surprising.
reinforcements.
We see a cloud buster. Okay. Running a large laser, I think. I'm pretty sure the LL stands for a large laser variant. There's another phase 13 mover. Let's see what we've
Waiting
got.
for the shot.
Okay.
Nice try.
So that was something out over this way. A thunderbolt. That's a big boy. Okay. It's not all that well armored, though. So we see 5. We see a Razorback. We see the Stiletto. We see a Cloudbuster and a Chasseur. And then we see the Thunderbolt. So we're expecting that to be all of the enemies. Then. We'll reserve again. And we can use this LOS to our advantage for right now. That Razorback moves up. Hits our striker with the PPC. That's a little bit unfortunate. But now we can start actually moving. He overheated and got severe burns. Okay. There's also only 1 evasive pip here, or maybe 0 evasive pips. So we can move up our Wolverine here. Hit odds are mediocre there, but we're not going to have any heat issues here for the moment. That Stiletto hasn't been moved. So we're going to make our way up here for now. And from here, I think we are definitely going to fire on that Razorback. I mean, the Stiletto, the hit odds are low. We may stray shot it. Hit odds aren't amazing on this Razorback, but they don't have to be. So what do we get here? Some decent damage into the Razorback. I like it. That'll do. Okay, next up, the Stiletto moves up, and what's it going to shoot at? The Striker. Ooh! They already took out the Striker. That's really unfortunate. Well,
Standing by.
I guess we'll see if we recover that. We're going to sprint our Jenner up over this way. And we're going to fire on that Razorback. It's super unfortunate that they just instantly killed the Striker like that before we even got a chance to move it. The Hollander, technically we reserved it, but the Hollander is going to move up over to here. I want to continue hitting that Razorback. That was a nice hit there. The Hatchetman is going to make its way up over this way.
You want fast? I can give you fast.
And we're going to hit this guy with our LBX.
Yeah. Think I hit
Nice. We took out his ERPPC. So that's good. From here, that Cloudbuster backs off. Okay. So what do they move? First, they move, unfortunately, the mech that we're trying to hit here. They didn't actually move it, though. They just turned it. The Razorback is super dead here. So our Hollander is going to move up. I'm a little bit salty about our Striker, but hopefully we'll get that back. We can see here. Yeah, Big Tom survived. I think we'll probably get it back. We're going to hit this guy with our Gauss rifle. Oh, that was a solid hit right into the RT. That's right where we wanted that to go. Okay, beautiful. So the question now is, what do they do with this Stiletto? Nothing. They move it up, but they don't fire.
What do you
So our
need?
Wolverine can position here.
Confirmed.
We can go for either of these. Hit odds are a bit higher on the Razorback. Let's go ahead and try to kill the Razorback here. Nice. One dead Razorback is great.
Gotcha.
So, next up is that Cloudbuster. These guys are just kind of running around out here.
Ready for orders.
Our Jenner's going to close in on their
Location
Stiletto.
confirmed.
And we're going to hit this as hard as we can. He is cover plus guarded, so he doesn't take a lot of damage from that. The Thunderbolt moves now. Fires at the Wolverine. Gets no damage. I love it. Okay.
Good to go.
So our Hatchetman is going to move around over this way. I would like to hit this Stiletto, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Here you go.
Nice! Through armor shoulder destruction. Cool.
Standing by.
So the Hollander may stay put here. 55.3% versus making his way up over here. 61.8. I'm a little bit concerned about the Jenner's positioning. We're going to go here instead so that we don't stray shot, hopefully.
Giving them everything I've got.
Okay. We should be nearly through the armor on that leg. The Stiletto moves up, fires on our Hatchetman. Minor damage to the Hatchetman there. It should be okay. Cool. Their vehicles are still moving around back here. For the time being, we're going to ignore them. Our Jenner is going to make his way up over this direction. We don't quite get into LOS of this Stiletto. So we're gonna not block the LOS for our Hatchetman. This is what, their Thunderbolt? No, that was their other vehicle over here.
Commander?
Okay. So our Hatchetman is going to close in over here. Unobstructed LOS. We're going to hit this Stiletto. Odds are not amazing.
Copy that.
Yeah, barely any damage there.
Yep.
Our Wolverine from here is going to sprint his way up
Going
this
full
way.
throttle.
The Hatchetman is a little bit exposed here, and we'll see what they end up going for. The Wolverine again. A little bit of damage to it, nothing too major.
Do they
I like
think
it.
they can hurt me?
Okay.
Commander.
So our Hollander, I would love to get that into LOS. It's not going to happen anytime soon. We're going to move up over this way.
Hey there.
And our Hatchetman is just going to slowly close in over this way. We're going to fire once again at the Stiletto, and we should have some better hit odds here this time. Slightly better.
Firing all weapons.
They're still not great, but that Stiletto doesn't have much armor left.
Orders?
And now our Jenner can close in here and start maybe hitting the Stiletto. These odds aren't good.
Taking the shot.
We got a couple of SRMs in there, though, so that's fine. Okay, the Stiletto will move next phase.
What do you need?
Our Wolverine is going to sprint up. Hello. That's a very long-range shot. I don't think we're going to have much that we can actually hit there. We can pot shot the autocannon, but we're very likely to hit our own mech there. I think we're not even going to bother trying. Okay. So the Stiletto backs off a little bit here. Did it just turn rear arc to us? I believe it did. The Cloudbuster moves up, and so does the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt's firing on the Hatchetman there, and we knew that that was a little bit of a danger.
I'm under heavy fire.
Yep. So at this point, the Hollander is going to reserve, because I want to move the Hatchetman first. I was hoping that these rocks would be an LOS block. They're apparently just not quite tall enough. Oh, and that's in the CT that the Hatchetman's armor is exposed. That's not great. Again, with the kind of bad luck there. We can head off over this direction and try to engage these guys, but I feel like that's just as dangerous. Honestly, we kind of have to come over here and disengage the Hatchetman for the moment. They just happened to hit basically everything in that CT. Our armor is doing its job. And they miss everything on our Jenner, so that's okay.
Waiting for orders.
For now, our Jenner is definitely going to want to move up over this direction. And we're going to want to hit that stiletto. Its armor is getting weak.
Locking in all weapons.
But we barely hit it with anything there. Sad. So their vehicles are moving around and flanking us a bit. Oh, you're able to shoot at the hatchman from there? That's unfortunate, but it is side arc. Okay. Not too bad.
How's it going?
So our Hollander can position out over here. And the Hollander has rear arc on both of these vehicles. We're going to hit the Chasseur, and if we do end up hitting this in the rear arc, we could kill it. It's not a guarantee, but we could. Okay, that's just a structure exposure. But that's very good. So the Wolverine is going to move up over here.
Got it.
And I would like to also hit this guy. We can only fire the AC-5.
Target lock on enemy 6.
We did hit, but we hit the Cloudbuster. It was a stray shot.
Mess him
Okay.
up. Mess him up good.
So next up is our Hollander moving again. And the Hollander is basically going to stay put. We're going to position out over here,
Position confirmed.
and we're going to fire on the Chasseur. I think we missed this one. Yeah, we do. Sad. Okay.
What's up, boss?
So our Jenner is going to continue to engage this stiletto. I would love to try to get some melee attacks here. Yeah, reasonable hit odds here, and we're reasonably safe. We shouldn't have... Well, he could step forward, but I don't think he's quite going to get LOS there. We'll see. We're going to hit the stiletto here in the rear arc.
Putting my weight into it.
We do manage to hit the melee. That's a big deal. That stiletto took a lot of damage there. The Chasseur turns around, fires on the Wolverine, and misses. Okay. So we'll see what they end up doing here. The Thunderbolt does move up, goes for the Hatchetman again. We're not super shocked about that,
Armor breach.
but it is sad.
Internal damage.
Okay, our Hatchetman is going to attempt to get to a slightly safer location. We could continue to head off over this direction.
On it.
And that's what we're going to do. Okay. The Stiletto moves up, goes for the Hollander. I think the Stiletto very clearly dies here.
Yep.
The question is, what is the state of this vehicle? It turned its front arc to us. So I think at this point, we move the Wolverine out over here. And we hit this Stiletto from this arc hard.
Let her rip.
Or we miss almost everything. And the rest only hits armor. I guess that works too. Okay, so next up would be our Hatchetman. And I want to continue to disengage that. There we go.
Yeah.
And our Wolverine can close in here again. Yes. Rear arc on this Stiletto. It'll be side arc for the Thunderbolt.
Putting my weight into it.
We do miss the melee, which is unfortunate. Endo Steel destroyed engine crit.
Scored a critical
It's
hit.
not as much damage as I was hoping. The Hollander is going to set up over this direction.
On my way.
The Hollander's in a little bit of danger here. I'm going to Vigilance it. And we're going to pot shot out at this Thunderbolt. This is more armor than I thought it was, but I would love to hit that Thunderbolt. It's not going to happen.
No joy.
Sad. Hello, Omega 999. Okay, so the Stiletto moves out and goes for the rear arc of our Wolverine. Hits almost everything because we missed our melee attack.
I'm under heavy
And
fire
we
here.
don't actually get the cover bonus either because it's rear arc. The Thunderbolt also hits the Wolverine pretty hard there. Okay. So next up, our Jenner is going to move in and go for the kill on their Stiletto.
Got it. Firing a full salvo.
There we go. Pilot ejection. Good. So the Cloudbuster moves up. Doesn't really do anything of note. The Chasseur moves up as well. Nothing too major there. So at this point, the Hollander is going to step out over this direction. Our hit odds are still very, very poor on this Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt moves before our Wolverine does. That's really unfortunate, actually.
Yes, boss.
That's incredibly unfortunate. We're going to move up with our Hollander and hope to distract him a little bit. Only 24% chance here, and we can't do anything here either. So we're going to fire at this Thunderbolt, but we miss, and we're not shocked about that. The Chasseur moves up and doesn't do anything. The Cloudbuster moves up and doesn't do anything either.
Ready.
So our Hatchetman is still chilling back here. It's in a lot of danger if we pop it out. So we're not going to do that for the moment. Our Jenner is going to move up and attempt to engage this Thunderbolt. We would love to bleed a bunch of armor off of his front arc here.
Copy that.
We got a little bit. Not a lot. So the Thunderbolt moves now and fires on that Wolverine. This is going to hurt. But the armor holds.
Aye, aye.
Barely. We're going to make our way up over here.
On my way.
And now we're going to start massively hitting this Thunderbolt. As much as we can, anyway.
Copy that.
Sadly, our autocannon misses. And most of our MRMs do as well.
War face.
Okay. Phase 19. That Chasseur moves up. And the Cloudbuster does as well. They're not doing anything for the moment. Our Jenner is going to walk in, and we're going to look to rear arc melee this Thunderbolt. It's a little bold for a Jenner, but that's what we're going to look to do.
Position confirmed.
This guy's looking relatively overheated. We successfully melee him. And we get some nice rear arc attacks. He's panic level critical. He backs off and does nothing.
Commander.
I love it. So we've got this side arc here. We have to choose, do we want to hit the Thunderbolt with the Gauss, or do we want to come out over here and fire on one of these guys with the Gauss? I think that the Thunderbolt is the higher priority right now, and we do have an unobstructed firing arc from here,
Roger that.
an unobstructed shot. So 24%, we'll try it and hope that we don't stray shot our Jenner.
Firing.
Okay, we failed, but that's just fine.
That's a miss.
Okay. Next up, our Wolverine is going to close in over here. Unobstructed line of sight from here.
Acknowledge.
We still missed the autocannon. Sad. But we got some decent side quasi-rear arc shots there. Yeah, that rear arc is definitely taking some damage.
Receiving you.
Okay. Our Hatchetman is still chilling for the moment.
Holding.
We'll bring that out when we need to.
How's it going?
I'm going to close in a little bit more here with the Hollander. And now our hit odds with the Hollander are really, really good. Or not really, really good, but quite good.
Firing a full salvo.
There we go. Nice. The Thunderbolt doesn't move for a while yet.
Orders.
So these guys are closing in a little bit. We're going to keep the Hatchetman where it's at for the moment. Our Jenner is going to hit this guy in the rear arc again, and we will overheat from this. But we're in the same exact position.
Targeting for physical attack.
That's a successful melee. He is unsteady. And that's a lot of rear arc hits. We did take out a heat sink, but that's not that big of a deal, in all honesty.
Standing by.
Okay, our Wolverine is going to move up to here. This is a really good position to hit that Thunderbolt rear arc. I love it. Do it. Well,
This heat is frying my internal.
that core meltdown was a little awkward for us. No doubt about that. Our Jenner is running incredibly hot. Incredibly hot. There's a chance of ammo explosion. We want to attempt to get out of these flames. We're going to jump to here and brace. Okay, we failed the shutdown override. That's fine.
Engine
The
shut
Jenner
down.
should be reasonably okay. Now the Hollander is going to head over here and start taking pot shots at these vehicles. We can't see the Chasseur from here, but I think I saw a spot, yes, here.
Moving to position.
Now these hit odds are not great. 8.5% versus 16.9.
All weapons are go.
But we'll fire it anyway. Okay.
Good to go.
The Hatchetman is just going to continue to chill around here for the moment. I don't like that exposed CT at all. Chasseur moves up, goes for the Hollander, manages to get a hit and breaks through the armor at that range. That's unfortunate.
Aye, aye.
But the Wolverine will start to close in over here.
Understood. Moving fast.
And we're now going to begin laying down fire on this
Aye,
guy
aye.
as well.
Engaging target.
We don't hit. Sad.
Damn it, I missed.
Okay, that Cloudbuster moves up. The Cloudbuster isn't that big of a threat.
Yes, Commander.
So the Hollander definitely needs to at least get one evasive.
On my way.
And I also want to vigilance it. Man, only 12.5% chance. Yeah, that's not shocking.
Missed.
Okay,
I'm here.
so our Wolverine is going to continue to close in over this way. We will sprint to get some evasive. And I want to get as close into this Chasseur as we can. Hit odds are really low, so we're not going to fire that. The Cloudbuster moves up, goes for the Wolverine, and hits both large lasers, even with 4 evasive pips. That's unfortunate. But it's not the end of the world.
Standing by.
Our Hatchetman is going to start moving over this way. Just in case. The Chasseur moves up, also hits the Wolverine with 4 evasive pips. Man,
Orders?
we're getting some awkward luck on that. I think we're going to not restart the Jenner this round. Or no, we have to?
Holding here.
No, we don't have to. Wait, did that not sink heat? That may have not
Waiting
sunk
for
heat.
orders.
Okay. Well, we're going to move the Hollander over to, like, here.
Location confirmed.
And continue to vigilance. And just hope that we manage to get a shot in here.
Firing.
That is a successful hit there. And the Chasseur moves up, goes for the Hollander, and misses. Good. Fantastic.
Waiting for orders.
The Hatchetman is going to advance over this way. We want to keep it hidden unless we're basically guaranteed a kill.
Standing by.
The Wolverine is going to... We can't sprint this round. The Wolverine is going to move up to here. It's very likely to take a shot from the Cloudbuster AA.
Roger.
We're going to vigilance it, and we're going to fire on that Cloudbuster. Hopefully we get some damage done. Yeah, that's some damage. It's got a lot of armor left. Okay.
SRMs are out.
It's just the improved MRMs there. The Cloudbuster AA moves up, fires on the Wolverine, hits both large lasers again. We're getting some very awkward luck this mission. Okay. So,
Receiving you.
our Jenner, yeah, it just needs to continue. We failed the start. Ah, the rear arc on the Chasseur here. Only a 12.5% hit chance. I'm going to re-vigilance. And now we hit the Chasseur. Or hope that we hit the Chasseur.
Taking the shot.
We did not. Okay.
Reporting negative damage.
Our hit odds are very low, and it seems like theirs aren't. They managed to hit there. We didn't have any evasive, so that's reasonable.
Aye, aye.
Our Wolverine is going to close in over this way. Yes.
Understood.
To about here. Do we not have incendiary MRM ammo? I thought we had a secondary type of MRMs. But if we don't, that's fine. We are going to fire on this Chasseur
Roger.
and get nothing out of it. Man,
Negative
sad
damage.
days. Sad days. The Cloudbuster AA backs off, fires on the Wolverine, hits 1. If only we had our striker.
Yes, Commander.
The Hatchetman is going to continue to advance over this way, but it's scary. It's definitely scary. So we're going to put it here and brace it.
Standing by.
Our Jenner will try to restart. And that time we successfully restarted.
Go.
Our Hollander will fire at whatever hit odds are highest for the Chasseur. Okay.
Affirmative.
And we miss again. Sad. One of these days we're going to hit one of those. The Cloudbuster moves up, fires on the Wolverine again, gets the structure exposure. I believe that's in the arm.
Reporting
But
internal
we'll double check
damage.
that. Torso. That is worse. What's in this arm? That's the AC-5. Okay.
Ready.
So the Hatchetman at this point can move up and expose the left torso. Like this.
Location confirmed.
We'll go ahead and do that, and then we're going to fire on this guy with the LBX. I'm hoping that we get the kill here. I think we will.
Run.
Yes. Beautiful. So now we don't have to worry about the Chasseur. And we can start to move our Jenner down here. Now that it's finally restarted.
I'm
Our
here.
Wolverine can close in, and we want to present the left side to them. So we want to move into about here-ish, presenting left arc to them
Let's move.
at this point. And we can fire on this with whatever we've got. We did get a couple of hits in there, so that's nice. But the armor on that Cloudbuster is still pretty high. Backs off. Hits the Hatchetman in that side arc. That is the side we presented to them, so that's to be expected. Okay.
Standing by.
Our Hollander, I would like to close it in a little bit here. Yeah, I think this will be a better position for it. But still only 16.9% chance.
Acknowledged.
Yeah, we still miss that.
Damn it.
Okay.
Commander.
Our Hatchetman is going to continue to close in here, presenting that same left side for the time being.
On my way.
And we're going to fire on this guy with everything we've got.
I got it.
Okay. We got some decent damage into that side arc.
Standing by.
We're going to move our Wolverine in. I want to still present the left side.
Position confirmed.
There we go. And we'll fire on him with the AC-5 and ER medium
Okay,
laser.
I'm on it.
And we miss both of them. Okay.
Oh, crap.
Missed. Commander.
So the Jenner will continue to sprint in. The Jenner's in okay shape. So once it gets in, we'll be fine. I've never heard about this game, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, RogueTech is really, really good. It's as technically RogueTech isn't the game, BattleTech is the game, and RogueTech is the mod set, to be clear.
I'm here.
So our Wolverine will close in here, and we want to still show the left side. So that's what we'll do. And we'll fire on the Cloudbuster AA. Hopefully we'll get some hits. Nope, we do not. Okay.
Damn it. I missed.
Let's do
The
this.
Hollander is going to continue to close in over this direction. I'm just looking at our firing line here. I think this will have
On
to
the
do.
move.
29.8% now on the Gauss.
Firing
Ooh,
full
that's a hit.
complement.
Where was that? Did that hit front arc? That hit front arc. So its front and back are very weak now. This is a
Waiting
good
for
development. Our Jenner can sprint in here to about here.
Roger that.
And that's going to hurt its hit odds, of course, sprinting, but
Roger.
that's okay. 16 more damage going into that Cloudbuster.
Receiving you.
And our Hatchetman will... Do we stay put here? Or do we start to close in? I think we stay put. Definitely not the best shots I've ever seen. Let's see what it does here. It goes through the Hollander. Gets through the armor in the torso where the Gauss rifle is. That's a little dangerous, but I don't think it's really going to survive this round. So we're going to close in a little bit more with the Hollander. We now want to present the left side with the Hollander as well. So we'll do that, and we'll fire on this guy. 42.1% chance with the Gauss.
Firing full complement.
And
on
we
the
missed.
enemy.
Okay.
That's a miss.
That's fine.
Commander.
So our Jenner is going to look to get an optimal firing here. I think we're going to have to go around and climb the hill, though,
Full speed.
which is sad.
No target.
Now, the Cloudbuster moves. It's running away.
Standing by.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely have to pursue. And we'll drop some heat. So that's fine. We're going to move our Wolverine around this direction. Okay. Where's it going to go? It's continuing to run. It's not going to get too far,
Yes,
though.
Commander.
The Jenner can run it down. Unfortunately, we don't get an LOS this round. That sure looks like that should be... I guess it's because of this little rise here. If that was a mech, that would be an LOS. But it's very close.
Receiving you.
Okay, our Hollander is not going to careful maneuver. It's just going to run up over this way.
Position confirmed.
Not sure what this circle is, but sure.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, our Hatchetman can, at this point, jump up the cliff.
Standing
And
by.
our Wolverine will make its way around over to here.
Acknowledge.
So let's see what the Cloudbuster decides to do here. It's honestly pretty dead, but it could try to take one of our mechs with it. It didn't try. It went for the Jenner, and it managed to hit the leg there. But it didn't do any serious damage to the leg. Cool.
Orders.
So the Jenner is going to move in here,
Moving to position.
and we're going to hit him rear arc. His rear arc is already very weak. But we didn't do any damage. Well, we did a little.
Waiting for orders.
The Hollander can close in up over here.
Waiting for orders.
The Hatchetman can actually get into a firing position here.
Got it.
That surprises me. The LBX could easily finish this.
Got the angle. Taking the shot.
It didn't, but it did get a tracked propulsion crit.
Taking a critical hit.
I'm here.
And the question is, can the Wolverine get into a firing position? No.
Let's move.
But it can position up here. Now, he gets to move first again. I was hoping our Jenner would get to move first. He doesn't fire at all.
Receiving you.
Okay. The Hollander can just walk up over
Copy
here.
that.
It's not a big deal.
Orders.
Okay, the Hatchetman gets the kill here,
Heading out.
almost guaranteed.
Mess
There
him
we
up.
go.
Mess him
Beautiful.
Up good.
So there's those reinforcements gone. Unfortunate about the Striker, but I think we'll get the Striker back. I don't think that was catastrophic damage to it. We'll see. That would have been a lot easier had we had the Striker. No doubt about it. I would have sent the Striker out after these vehicles while we dealt with the mechs with our proper lance. That would have been very nice indeed. But overall, our damage taken, assuming the Striker is okay, wasn't too bad. There's a lot of armor that needs to be strapped on, but no real internal damage was taken there. We could take that Thunderbolt part. I feel like that wouldn't be a bad thing to take. There's some ER medium laser bright blooms here. A flak FCS is just generally pretty good, although it has been nerfed. 2 double heat sinks, a laser insulator. Interesting. Pressurized coolant can explode for 10 heat damage and stability damage. Good to know. Listen kill LRM ammo as well. Okay. I think we're going to end up going for... perhaps a large laser, but there's nothing amazing here, right? An FCS improved would not be bad, though, for the Hollander in particular. Even an FCS flak for the Hollander would be good, though. That 20% crit and -1 recoil. We're going to go for the flak. We're definitely going to go for the flak here, and that will go into the Hollander. Okay, so we'll confirm that. We got some Striker parts. We got 4 striker parts. That's not a good sign. That probably means our striker's gone. Well, we'll continue here. If the striker's gone, that's hugely unfortunate. We never got a chance to move it in that mission. It just got blown up instantly. So, it is what it is. We got 4 parts for it. I don't think we have a 5th striker part anywhere currently, but we'll see. We'll load this on in. Hello, Zane Gaming and General Monty. Yeah, the striker was destroyed. When we saw those parts, I was pretty sure that that was going to be the case. Yes, we want to continue with these repairs. 29 days for them, huh? Well, that's not necessarily the case. We're going to get a raid contract notification in 3 days here. So we may have to pass on this raid contract. We'll see how that ends up working. Let's go into our mech bay here, and let's grab the Hollander. That's the Hatchetman. This is the Hollander here. We'll stop work on the Hollander, and we will refit this. We need to get this fully repaired. And we're going to drop this FCS standard. We are definitely going to end up putting in the flak FCS here. Okay. And from here, I want to repair everything, and we want to get our armor up to the correct level. That's not exactly where we want the armor to be. We'll take this up to like 30 in the legs and around 50 in these torsos. And then from here, we'll just round it all out to multiples of 5, if we can. We'll see how much tonnage we have for that. That looks almost perfect, actually. Yeah, that is actually perfect. Cool. So that'll take 5 days. That's fine.
Log and note.
So we have the Hatchetman, the Mongoose, and the Hornet here. Good to go. None of those are particularly great. In terms of our vehicles here, we can't get the Striker back good to go. We did get 5 parts of it. What else could we potentially get going for our vehicle slots? Literally nothing for right now. Okay. So let's take a look at how long it's going to take to put these all back together. The Wolverine will be 17 days. That's by far the longest one. We can get the Jenner in 2 days, the Hollander in 5, and the Hatchetman in 8. How many mech bays do we have operating right now? That's something we should figure out. Let's go into engineering. And yeah, we'll get all that done eventually. We currently have 1 mech bay at 50% efficiency. Okay. So we're going to proceed here for a bit. We're going to get a new raid contract notification right now. And we'll have to pass on this.
Network orders complete.
Our improved power conduit's finished. And from there, we definitely want to get our second mech bay up to full speed. Which one of these is actually full speed on the second mech bay? I forget. That's the 3rd bay. Oh, we already have that at full efficiency. Okay, that's fine. So we should start working on getting this Mech Bay 3 going as soon as we can. That's going to require structural reinforcement, which I believe is this one. Yes. So we need to get structural repair done first. So we'll get that underway, and we will continue our repairs. Our next raid contract will be in 3 days. The Hollander will be done by then. The Hatchetman will not. Asset retrieval, a recovery mission. I think we have to pass on this one as well. The next one we should be able to do, though. Okay, Ordnance Depot capture. We'll launch this one. No free priority salvage here. Pay is kind of awkward. It's only a half skull, so that shouldn't be too bad. So, We're going to need to bring this hatchetman, which is a mediocre hatchetman, and this is a vehicle-only slot, or a pair of vehicle-only slots here. So we can't actually deploy those for the moment. And then these are battle armor only, which we don't have any battle armor either. So our Wolverine is still being repaired, but we can deploy with this lance. Now, this should be fine. Let's go ahead and do it. It's only a half skull, and this is fundamentally a similar amount of firepower that we did the last mission with, and that mission was a full skull more challenging than this one. So in theory, this shouldn't be bad. But this is RogueTech, and that of course means anything can happen. How am I doing? I am doing much, much better now that my jaw has decided to not be out of socket. Thank you very much. That was not pleasant, to be sure. Okay, so what are we going to have against us for Steiner? It shouldn't be bad. We need to capture the Ordnance Depot. We've been tracking the movement of several Lyric convoys, and that's allowed us to pinpoint their destinations. A hidden, well-defended Ordnance Depot. This facility is a key supplier for local Lyran forces, and taking it from them will significantly damage their efforts against us. We'd like you to drop in, take the depot, and hold out against any enemy reinforcements. This should be straightforward. Move up, recon the depot, and then occupy it. Once we secure the area, Word of Blake will send in their people to loot the place.
All systems nominal.
Okay. So let's see what we've got here.
Command interface initiated.
No active hostiles anywhere. The place is deserted. Okay. So that means that we can just deploy right here. And so we shall. That'll scout the depot instantly. There's no garrison. Wait, we're getting something. The garrison was on patrol, and they're on the way back. Okay. So I'm going to send the Jenner here to be the one to occupy the base.
Roger.
And we don't know where they're coming from. So we're just going to take up some defensive positions
I copy.
in these trees.
Got it.
For now. Okay. And the Jenner is, at this point, going to take up a defensive position over here. And from here, we'll just brace.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. They're heading your way.
Okay. That's a commando. That's an already damaged Hornet. That's an already damaged Locust. It fires on our Hollander and does no damage. Okay. So let's take a look here. Is it really only the 3 mechs? No, there is a Stinger down here that I didn't see move. Because it hasn't moved yet. So the Hornet has 4 evasive, the Commando has 4 evasive, the Locust has 3 evasive. We're going to move in with our Jenner here. The only one that we can... Well, we could go after the Stinger here, but hit odds are going to be really low because it's got 6 evasive for having just spawned. We're going to fire on the Locust here. We're probably not going to do much, but Locusts have super weak armor. Any damage will be a lot, but we got nothing. Okay.
Missed.
Next up is going to be our Hollander, which is going to move up to about here. I'd like to fire on that Commando. Hit odds are better on the Locust. Let's give it a go. If we hit, we're going to do a lot of damage to this Locust, but odds are only 27%.
Roger that.
Yeah, no hit.
Negative damage. Repeat.
'Kay.
Negative.
Next up, our Hatchetman is, or one of our Hatchetmen, is going to start moving up over this direction.
Got it.
We'll need
No
to close
shooting,
in,
just
and we're going to
running.
pot... No, we're not. 4.7%. I was going to pot shot that Commando, but it's not worth it. Okay, let's see what that Stinger does. It moves up, goes for our Jenner, misses. Beautiful. So none of these mechs are a huge threat to us. We just need to get into position to deal with them.
Receiving you.
So this Hatchetman is just going to break from the tree line and just sprint its way up as much as it can, which is basically just getting to the road for right now. Now, a 21% chance on this Commando for the LBX is not great. We're just going to be done there for the moment. Okay. Now, 4, 4, 3, and 2.
Yes, boss.
2 evasive down here is actually not much. So we're going to position the Hollander here. And we're going to fire on this Stinger. I was hoping that we'd have a little higher than 30% hit odds with the flak FCS in here. But we are obstructed from forest into forest, all that. So that's fine. We'll give this a go with 30% odds. If we hit, it'll do a lot.
Firing all
We don't
weapons.
hit. That's fine.
Reporting negative damage.
Okay. Next up, let's see who moves. It'll be either the Commando or the Locust. It's the Commando. It goes for this Hatchetman, gets 20 damage. That's not too much, in all honesty. That's completely fine. Next up is going to be the Locust, and we'll see what it decides to do. It also goes for that same Hatchetman and completely misses. I like it. That's pretty great. So from here, this Hatchetman is going to move up. There's no point in sprinting at this point, I don't think. We can just fire on this Locust, and these guys are all in a line here. We could stray shot any of them. That was solid. We hit with the autocannon there. That's a big deal. So at this point, our Jenner is going to... We could look to engage out over this direction. That would be a rear arc on this Locust. I don't know how useful that really is. I'm thinking about engaging this Stinger instead with the Jenner. So the Jenner runs out over here, engages the Stinger. The Jenner massively outguns this Stinger. So this shouldn't be a problem. That's already a structure exposure there. Beautiful. So the Stinger moves now. Goes for the Jenner, does 4 damage. We don't care. That is incredibly irrelevant. The Hatchetman is going to close in up here. Now, this is the LBX Hatchetman. We could go for either of these. Our hit odds are slightly better on this Commando, and this is actually side arc as opposed to front arc. So, I love it. Go for this Commando. Quite a bit of armor damage there. We didn't penetrate the armor, though. It's close. Their Hornet moves in. Shoots at our Hollander. Okay. The Hollander's fine. Cool. So from here, we can choose who we want to fire at with the Hollander. And the answer is the Stinger. We just want to go for whoever's the highest hit odds.
Acknowledge.
Oof. Right into that torso means that a lot of that damage just transferred into the CT.
Orders?
That also means that this Stinger is super duper dead. We're going to move in and finish it off with the Jenner.
Aye, aye.
We miss that melee attack, which is very unfortunate. That was an 80% chance. It's still super duper dead. So there we go.
That's a kill.
Okay, so in terms of threats, the Commando is the biggest threat to us here. The Hornet completely missed our Hatchetman. I love it. And they're all up in this area now. So this isn't going to be a big problem for us. We're not going to take a huge amount of damage from this one, which is good because we're still working on the damage on the Wolverine. The Locust moves up. Gets 50 damage into the Hatchetman, but that's fine. Honestly, getting into melee range of a Hatchetman is very bold from the Locust pilot's perspective.
Hey there.
That's not an action I would have taken. We're going to move up over here,
Coordinates received.
and we're going to fire on this Commando. That's an armed destruction, meaning that this Commando is a lot less big of a threat now. The Commando moves right now. And that means that all of their mechs have moved this round. And that's great. Of course, we only have this Hatchetman that hasn't moved yet. Okay. The Hatchetman is obviously going to move in and hit this Locust with its melee attack, right? Like, there's no way that this doesn't happen. Do we go for the kick, or do we go for the physical weapon attack? Honestly, the kick is better value here. Yeah, the kick is better value. So in we go.
On it. Putting my weight into
We do
it.
miss, but that's fine. It was worth the roll.
I did.
We missed literally everything there. But when the melee missed, that wasn't a huge shock. Okay. Next up is our Hollander, which is going to position up over here. Does anyone have favorite mechs? I'm a fan of King Crab and Hollander myself. Well, I do have some favorite mechs. Like, for example, I'm a pretty big fan of the Catapult. King Crab is a good mech, there's no doubt about it. Hollanders are good in the right situation. If you run out of Gauss ammo, yikes. But, yeah, otherwise, Hollander... we've gotten a lot of good use out of this Hollander, no doubt about that. I'm going to go for this Commando here. But yeah, I like Catapults, personally. That's one of my favorite mechs. That's a flat-out miss from the Gauss rifle, but I'd rather it miss than we hit our own mech there. Some damage to this Hatchman. We missed our melee attacks, that's not shocking.
Standing by.
And the Jenner is, at this point, definitely going to come in here, and we're going to rear arc kick this Hornet. Odds aren't great,
Coordinates
but we're going to do it. We managed to hit the melee attack, and that means everything else is huge. That Hornet is just straight up dead. Beautiful.
Target eliminated.
And that's why we take low odds attacks sometimes. So next we're going to go for the kick on this Locust. Also rear arc. Do we go physical weapon? I don't think we do, because the medium lasers are better value. So we're going to go rear arc kick on this Locust. We do miss it. That's not shocking. And we miss everything else as well. That's unfortunate that that happened twice in a row,
Negative
but
damage.
eventually we'll get it. This Commando will move, and what do we think it'll do? Rear arc attack this Hatchman? Side arc. Okay, I think that's even worse. Because we got the 20% reduction.
What's up, boss?
Okay. Well, from here, we could definitely side arc attack this Commando. That's his weak side.
Location.
It turned weak side to us. Hit odds aren't great here.
Firing all weapons.
But they're good enough to take out that torso. So, I like it.
Now that hit something good.
Okay, so next up is going to be this Locust, and we'll see what it decides to do. Hopefully we'll be able to actually melee it sometime. 2 misses in a row thus far, but it probably will hit soon. Going for the rear arc attack? Yeah, not shocking. It did break through the rear armor, which is slightly surprising, but it's okay.
Internal.
So next up is going to be our Hatchetman, which is going to make its way up over here. And once again, we can go for the rear arc kick. Slightly higher hit odds than last time. One of these days, we're going to get this Locust. And it's this day.
Show me
Beautiful.
your war face. Got past the armor.
Really, another core meltdown? Did they make core meltdowns a lot more likely?
Tango down.
Maybe. That Hatchman is not that overheated, though, so it's okay. We can definitely go for a kick on this Commando rather than firing the Gauss. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to make him unsteady, and we succeed. Now, we don't have any follow-up for that, and the Commando instantly moves. I should have thought of that one. But I guess that's okay.
Enemy flanking.
Goes for the rear arc on the Hatchman. That's fine.
Barely a hit, Commander.
He's super dead here. So we're going to go for, I think, a side arc attack here.
On my way. Engaging.
We miss our melee, but that's okay. We missed our autocannon as well. Many of those lasers hit, though. We made him unsteady, and now the Jenner can come in for the kill. What? No, I don't want you to go on that side. This side is fine. The Jenner should get the kill here. That's a leg destruction.
Target.
And he just ejects. Beautiful. So we're out of here.
One left.
Here comes our dropship, and we get a nice close-up of some leaves. Perfect. And a second close-up of some leaves. but the depot is ours.
Mission successful.
Let's go. So yeah, we didn't take too much damage that time. We may have to pass on the next mission. Since they come so quickly, 3 days per mission is kind of insane. But we'll see how quickly we can get repairs done. Any moment now, salvage screen. You can do it. I have faith. Okay, so about 300k for that. Not too bad. And a little bit of damage here. Strapping the armor on will take the longest. Is there anything we really want here? Not really. We could take the commando part. That's probably going to end up being scrapped eventually, but we can take that. 3 FCS standards. I guess we could take 13 heat sinks. We have 19 though, so we really don't need that. I was hoping for like some engines or something that we could sell easily. I guess you can never have too many medium lasers. And a little bit more SRM ammo, sure. Most of this we're not that interested in, but we'll keep it around. The C3 Slave I'm going to actually sell. We don't need these heat sinks, we've got plenty. Same with the jump jets. Same with the basic sensors, and the cockpit basic. That all is just going to get straight up sold. Cool. The rest of this we'll keep around for now. All good. So we did end up getting like almost an extra 100,000 C-bills from those sales. That's not too bad. The real question is, of course, just how much is it going to cost us to repair here? Or not really cost, even. Time is the bigger consideration at this point. How long will it take us to repair? That is by far the bigger consideration here. Well, we'll end up seeing, eventually. What do you got, Yang? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. 16,000 C-bills in 7 days. So we're going to prioritize at this point something kind of like this. It's going to be more than 7 days. That's going to be 8 days, and the Wolverine still won't be done. But that's okay. We're going to get a raid contract here in 3 days. And this one we're going to have to pass on. Cool. And then we're going to finish up a bunch of that. Okay. Our contract ends on a sour note with the invasion's defeat. So that's fine. What ended up happening there was we just didn't have the mechs ready to go for it, I think. Let's hop into... And we profited, so it's all good. Let's hop into our barracks here and do a little bit of training.
Orders.
So anybody who needs some training here. Some piloting for Big Tom.
Mech warrior training complete.
Received. Yes.
Some guts for Brick is fine.
Training complete.
Live fire.
Standing by.
You have our Hollander, don't you? No, you're in a Hatchetman. Okay. We can grab a point of guts here, although going for Bandit is amazingly good for everyone because that critical hit chance is insane. So we'll take Bandit for everybody.
Training confirmed.
It's just too good to pass up.
How's it
For
going?
Majestic, once again, Bandit.
Mech
I don't
warrior
care
training
what you drive.
complete.
Bandit will be
I'm
good.
here.
A point of piloting for Magistrate, or we could save up for Bandit. We'll take the point of piloting for now.
Complete.
Ready for orders.
Same with Mongrel.
Training confirmed, Commander.
And
for
Von
orders.
Cobra is fine. Cool. So we'll get these repairs done. When is our financial report? 4 days? Okay. So the financial report finishes now.
Report to you, Commander.
That's okay. We're still positive for our Word of Blake deployments. And we finish up our structural repair right now.
Hey, boss.
So that's
we just
beautiful.
completed those
Next up,
upgrades.
we're going to hop into our engineering, and we're going to get our third mech bay going once we can. But first, we have to grab structural reinforcement, so we'll take that. That will be done, how soon? What was that, 2 weeks? 30 days. Okay. Let's finish up our Wolverine repairs. 2, 1, and 0.
I wrapped up that
Okay.
job you asked for, Commander.
Apparently we're being warned that Mongrel is not a good hire. To be blunt, she's a thief and backstabber, and only common decency had me leave her on a station instead of booting her through the airlock when I finally fired her ass. Be careful with your crew, and keep in mind that a mech warrior with a bad reputation can bring down the reputation of your whole outfit. We're going to talk to Mongrel about the warning. What do you have to say for yourself? Mongrel is honest. Okay, cool. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, so we're ready to deploy here, and what do we want to deploy to? A heavy air asset for an isolated enemy force, huh? I don't think this is the time for that mission. The max salvage isn't really what we're looking for. 523 is pretty good. That's an ambush convoy. That's an ambush convoy. It could be a little bit spicy, but it's only a 1 skull. I think it'll be fine. No free priority salvage here. We'll run it straight down the middle. And are these the mechs we want to run? The answer is no. We want to bring our Wolverine. Cool. Yeah, definitely with that MRM 30. Cool. So we're going to deploy this. Darius is probably going to be upset. No, Darius is not upset. Okay. So we're going to be running our Hollander, our Jenner, our Hatchetman, and our Wolverine, and we should be able to run down the convoy relatively easily. I often am able to cheese these ambush convoy missions by spawning ourselves in the path of the convoy, which is always hilarious. And then we can eliminate the convoy quickly and then move on their escorts, which we are expecting an escort lance here. We want to be able to eliminate that convoy extremely quickly. So hopefully it's nothing too major. It's only a 1 skull. It shouldn't be too bad. It really, really shouldn't be. But we'll see. Well, word of Blake. Any briefing? Also, the question is, will there be a Word of Blake support lance? They might help us. So we need to destroy the Lyran convoy and escape, with a secondary of defeating all the convoy escorts. A Blakist convoy was ambushed and looted for expensive industrial materials, and the perpetrators, the Lyran Commonwealth, are moving the stolen goods to a secure location. We'd like you to strike the convoy and destroy it. Our salvage teams will then retrieve our goods from the wreckage. The message seems to be at least as important as the cargo. If we clean up the escorts to ensure their salvage crew's safety, there's a bonus in it for us. Cool.
Reactor online.
Well, let's see what they've got.
Online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Where are we?
Command interface initiated.
It's the only window we have. We need to recon the area. Yeah. We do have allies. They're going to be spawning over here. Heavy rain, huh? Okay. Heat sinks are going to be happy. Sounds good. So this is the convoy interception point. This is the denial zone. So what I usually like to do is spawn like over here and then make our way this way. Something like that. Should be good. That way they have to move through us to get to the denial zone. It's a little cheesy, but it gets the job done.
Eyes on the target.
Okay. So that's a tracked APC SRM. And it's moving. We see a commando over here and a hover APC. A little bit of damage to our Wolverine, but nothing major.
That's all you got?
That's a goblin and a scorpion. Okay. We only see the 2 escorts at this time. And where are our allies at? They're all the way up over here. So that's a wheeled scout, a Saladin, a Chasseur, and a J. Edgar. So nothing too major up here. That's a Word of Blake lance with only 4 vehicles. Interesting. But they're going to take a while to intercept down here. That's fine. Okay,
Waiting for
so our
orders.
Jenner can start to move up over this way. It's going to take a while for these vehicles to move down here, so I kind of want to engage these guys out over here. We can position here
Confirmed.
and see if there's any others. I don't see any currently. So we're going to pot shot this hover APC. Odds are not great, but we'll give it a go. It doesn't have much
Here
armor.
it comes.
Yeah, we don't hit it. That's reasonably expected. Okay, that commando moves up. Doesn't fire at all. Our ally's just kind of not going to be very useful, I have a sneaking suspicion. We're going to park our Hollander up here. 56% hit odds there, and there's another commando up here too. Okay. I'm still expecting there to be one more enemy unit. But 56 hit odds on this commando seem pretty good. We'll give it a go.
Alpha strike.
We do miss.
No
Sad.
choice.
That was unfortunate, but it is what it is. The Word of Blake vehicles up there are probably not going to do anything of note. We're going to move up with our hatchetman here. Also 56% hit odds on that LBX. So we'll go ahead and fire that.
Target acquired.
Ooh, we got a head hit there.
Connection on that one.
Nice. Okay, so that SRM Scorpion moves
What
up.
do you need?
Our Wolverine is going to position out over here.
Roger.
And I'd like to continue to hit that commando if we can. Odds aren't the best. We'd like to get closed in a little bit further, but that's still pretty good. We got a structure exposure and quite a bit of armor reduction on that Com7S, so that's great. Our friend the J. Edgar moves up a little bit, but they're not really going to be of much use. However, they're taking a shot for us. I like it. That's always good. Okay. Next round. So this tracked APC is moving very quickly. And it will likely need to be eliminated fairly soon here. That commando moves up. It does not fire. Here comes another tracked APC firing LRMs. 5 damage into our hatchman is not a big
Damage
concern.
is minor, Commander.
Cool. What else do we have here? Well, what are you going to move? Oh, it's going to be this tracked APC, I think. Or actually, this one? Might be this one. No, it moves its hover APC. Another shot going into the Word of Blake vehicles. I like it. Okay, now this guy moves up a bit. He's not really in an engaged spot for us. So I'm going to move our Hollander up slightly. We could fire out here. Only 30% hit odds. 63 on that commando. And that we definitely take.
Locking in all weapons.
We miss again. Unfortunate.
Negative damage.
Both of those greater than 50% hit odds. Sad. That's officially bad luck. We would have expected to hit one of those two. That Scorpion moves up. And the Chasseur moves up as well. It's not really doing much for the moment. It might get into a position where it can, though.
Good to go.
So our hatchetman is going to close in over here. I'm going to continue to hit this commando. Our hit odds are still good.
Affirmative.
We did
That one's
almost
gonna
all
be
armor
lost.
damage there, but we did take out an SRM2 streak. Okay.
Standing by.
The Jenner is going to close in over here, but maybe not quite that far. Maybe we rely on evasive here. Or maybe we just park here. Here seems okay.
Roger.
We're in cover, we have 3 evasive, and we can hit this commando from the side arc, hopefully.
Roger that.
Some more armor damage there. Okay. So that goblin moves up. Shoots at our Hollander and gets a structure exposure already. Oof. That's sad.
Yep.
So our Wolverine is going to make its way up over here.
Understood.
And we're going to fire on that commando as well.
Take this.
We miss the autocannon. But we get a bunch of missiles in there. And is that a knockdown? Not quite, but it's very close. That wheeled scout is moving up. It's not really doing too much. The Saladin moves up. It's not doing anything either. The J. Edgar is closing in as well. Okay. So the tracked APC moves up, goes for the hatchetman. We're going to need to start engaging them as they appear over here. And that is the plan.
Waiting for
So the Hollander is going to step down over this direction. We'd like to have our left leg protected.
on my way.
And we're going to shoot at that goblin. Hit odds are only 43%. But we did manage to hit it.
Primary target damage. Concentrate your fire.
That's good.
Bring it down.
That scorpion comes up, and what does it do? Nothing. Cool. So we hit that in the side arc. That goblin is heavily armored. Okay. Phase 15, what are they going to move? They've not moved the goblin yet this round, which is painful. Let's see. We move phase 14 here. I'm thinking about blocking for the Hollander with this hatchetman.
Yes, Commander.
These positions are awkward. We can position here. It's not great. And fire on that commando. The commando could easily die here.
Comes the show.
It's certainly a knockdown.
Reporting.
Okay, so that commando is indeed dead. The wheeled scout moves up, and where is it currently? It's up over here. It's getting closer. Okay. So they're going to be moving a couple of vehicles here soon. We definitely need to engage these guys. So this tracked APC is pretty engageable here. The real question is the goblin at this point. That commando does nothing.
What's up,
Okay.
boss?
We can definitely go for the tracked APC here. It's got 3 evasive. If we were to position like over here, this would be front arc, but that's okay, I think. Yeah, this guy's got even armor all the way around. We can go for a kick here, and we'll see what happens.
Position confirmed.
Odds aren't the best.
Engaging.
We did miss the melee.
Negative damage.
I think we missed everything. That's gross. Very unfortunate. Yeah, we missed literally everything there. They're going for the Jenner here. That's unsurprising, but actually preferable. That was the goblin there. Yeah, that's good. So this guy moves up. I would love to see them engaging the guy that's way out over there. Okay, going for the hatchetman? Sure. From here, we definitely need to engage these vehicles as they approach. So,
Yeah?
our Wolverine is going to move up over this way,
On it.
and we're going to hit this mobile HQ. Wow, those hit odds are poor. I didn't expect them to be this bad here. Target move +6, and enemy effects. I think that the mobile HQ might be suppressing our sensors a bit.
Attacking from position.
Well, we'll see what we can get there. It's not good, but tiny amounts of damage going into that mobile HQ. The J. Edgar moves up and goes for that tracked APC. It does miss. So that's fine. The Saladin moves in and does not fire. Okay. So we'll see what the enemies start to do here. We need to eliminate these vehicles as they crest this hill, though, and that mobile HQ has to go. This SRM carrier is not... This is one of the escorts. This is not a convoy unit. So we're not too concerned about this tracked APC for right now. That commando just ran off into the middle of nowhere. I'm okay with this. Phase 16, who are they going to move? We don't yet know, but probably this tracked APC LRM, if I had to guess. Or the guy that's off over here. this guy. We'll see. I'm hoping that this Chasseur can chase this down. We'll see if that happens, but that mobile HQ definitely has to go. Okay, that's that hover APC. Got it.
Yes.
So the Hollander is wanting to protect its left side. We can position like so,
Heading out.
and I'd love to hit that mobile HQ. Once again, hit odds are very low, mostly because of those enemy effects.
Got it.
But we did hit it with the Gauss there. That's a big deal. In this arc. Okay. So that's on this side? Yes. This arc here. Good to know. Our ally moves here. Let's see what they do. I think this is just their wheeled scout. I don't know that that thing even has weaponry. Anything? It does have a medium laser, looks like. So our Jenner is going to... We can't actually sprint because we missed our melee attack last round. Our Jenner is going to position up over here with 3 evasive. And we're going to fire on this mobile HQ. This is front arc, but we're hoping that we end up hitting here. It's a little low odds, but we'll give it a go.
Firing full complement on
We
it.
did. We broke through the armor there. It still has 5 hit points on that side.
Commander?
Okay. Our hatchetman is going to make its way around here. I'm going to not fire from the woods here
Roger.
because I want to boost our hit odds slightly. There we go.
Primary
Cool.
target is damaged. Keep it up.
So that's out of there. The mobile HQ, I believe,
Enemy
was what
down.
was giving us that +4 to hit. So we definitely needed to get rid of that. Interesting EU forethought. Hawaii taking over the Pacific Rim might be interesting to see. Yeah, that could be interesting, for sure. Our ally managing to fire on this Scorpion here. And that APC making its way directly into the middle of our mechs is an interesting strategy, for sure. Phase 10 is going to be another one of our ally movements, plus this Scorpion. That's that Saladin moving up, but it doesn't really do anything. The Scorpion moves up and doesn't do anything either.
Yep.
So, from here, our Scorpion is going to move in, and we're going to kick this tracked APC, if we can.
Let's move. Putting my weight
We
into
do
it.
miss the melee. That's sad. Let's see what else we get. We miss the autocannon and the laser, but the MRM finishes it up. Beautiful.
Gotcha.
So that's out of here. Next up, that Goblin moves in and fires on our Hatchetman. It does a fair amount of damage. The Goblin is, of course, the most dangerous vehicle that they have there. So let's see what our ally does here. Any moment now, buddy. Any moment now. Okay, that's that J. Edgar closing in. And it does literally nothing. Cool. So phase 15. I believe that will be this guy way out here. I don't know where he went. He's around somewhere. But let's see what phase 15 is here. Whatever it was,
Commander.
it stopped moving. Okay. I'm going to move the Jenner out over here. Actually, I'm going to reserve the Jenner here. That wheeled scout moves up and fires on the Scorpion. It misses, but it's worth a shot. Okay, phase 13 here. That commando is coming back in. Oof. Missile stray shots
Reporting heavy damage.
on our Jenner, exposing
I'm
structure
under
there.
heavy
That's
fire.
unfortunate. Okay.
Commander?
Our Hatchetman is going to want to close in over this direction.
Acknowledged.
And we're going to fire on this goblin with everything we've got. We need to eliminate this goblin quickly. Not entirely sure what happened there. I think we stray shot this a bunch.
Yeah?
But okay. We're going to move up our Wolverine as well. Not quite that far up. Here.
Confirmed.
And we're going to hit that goblin again.
Let her rip.
That's a much better set of hits. But its armor is still doing well. It just moved in and didn't attack.
Receiving you.
That's interesting. We're going to just Gauss rifle it from here with a 75% hit chance.
Confirm.
And we still miss. Okay. Gotta love RogueTech. Okay. So what are our allies going to do here? They shoot at the Scorpion. They don't hit it. Let's see. That's going to be probably this tracked APC here. He doesn't do anything of note.
Commander.
So at this point, our Jenner can come in over this way. Let's see here. What side is this? I think this is its strong side. Sadly, we're not getting our indicators here. But I'm pretty sure that's its strong side. Now, we could just come around over this way and rear arc it. And honestly, I'm thinking that's the way to go. It has 100... Actually, we're better off front arcing it. It has less armor in its front arc.
Got it.
Okay. We have good hit odds here. We still miss the melee.
Negative damage.
But we destroy it. The goblin's out of here. Fantastic.
Mech destroyed.
Okay. So what do our allies do from here? Well, we don't know. For a bit, anyway. They're thinking about it. I would like to see them come engage these guys over on this side. Specifically this guy. That SRM Scorpion comes in. It does not fire. So we're getting pretty lucky with the AI choosing not to fire here. That's avoiding a lot of damage. I like it. Saladin comes in and does a whole lot of nothing. And then our Hollander moves. I'm just looking at hit odds here. Hit odds are pretty good across the board. I think we're going to turn around and fire at this tracked APC, even though the hit odds are a little lower, because I don't want a stray shot over here. So let's get this tracked APC out of our backline if we can.
Firing all weapons.
Nice.
Tango down.
And that's our ally over there. I think there was still one vehicle out over here. Yeah, there's that hover APC over there.
Yes, Commander.
I think our allies are going for that. So we're going to walk up over this way. This is in LOS of that commando, and I would rather not be in LOS of the commando, but I don't think that's really an option. We'd like to protect our left leg here. So really, this would be the position to be. No, not here. Here. There we go. Let's go. We can probably kill this Scorpion here. We hit the melee. Yeah, it's dead. Beautiful.
Inbound, Commander. I'm meeting
So the
you
convoy
at
is dead. Now we just need to defeat the escorts, of which I believe there are 2 remaining. There's this commando, and there is this hover APC way out there. So our Wolverine is going to move in to engage the commando here.
Got it.
And hit odds here are mediocre, but we'll give it a go.
All weapons. Fire.
Oh, that's a structure exposure already. I like it. And a head hit. Pretty solid.
Good to go.
Our hatchetman is going to move up and try to capitalize on that. That LBX will be, in theory, very effective here. What? No, I don't want to look there. I want to look at this guy. Thanks.
Locking in. All weapons.
Hand destruction. Oh, SRM ammo explosion into he's just
Hostile
dead.
removed.
I love it. So that's great. Now there's only the one remaining escort. Hopefully our allies will be able to eliminate him quickly, but we'll start heading over there. He's way out at the edge of the map, which is not tremendously helpful. Just chilling out here. Yeah, he just sits there. Okay. Well, our allies are closing in on him a bit, I hope. Yeah, kinda. And we're going to start heading over there, too.
Receiving you.
So our Jenner is going to sprint over this direction.
Roger.
Yeah?
Everybody's going to start sprinting over here.
Roger.
Orders.
Come on, live fire. You can come too. There we go. Cool. And the Hollander is really our best bet here. Apparently the Hollander can't sprint or move at all. The Hollander appears to have
Good
bugged.
to go.
Yeah. The Hollander, I guess, can't sprint right now. So we're just going to walk over here and brace. Cool. So that wheeled scout moves up, and let's see what our allies decide to do here, as well as what the enemy decides to do. You just going to chill at the edge of the map? I'd love it if it started to come this way. Nope, it's just going to stay there. Sad. Well, we're going to need to get LOS on it eventually. Okay.
Let's do this.
So our Hollander can now sprint. That's good. And we're just going to sprint everybody over this way.
On it.
Come on over, everybody.
What do you need? Going full throttle.
Cool.
Standing by.
And the Jenner will sprint on over too. There we go. Now this guy gets to move again. Quote unquote move. We'll see if he actually does. Pro tip, he won't. He found his spot, and now he's going to sit there. There we go. Our allies are going to be in range very soon. So the J. Edgar moves up and does nothing. The wheeled scout moves up. The Saladin will move up as well, in theory, but not very quickly. Okay.
Orders.
Well, our Jenner is going to work on catching up with them. In fact, our everybody
Good
is.
to go.
There's no reason not to kill him and get the bonus, in my
My
opinion.
way. Double
So
time.
that's exactly what we're going to do.
Receiving you.
And we haven't taken all that much
Roger,
damage,
shoot.
so that's great.
Got it.
We're going to be able to get this repaired pretty easily. He's not going to do anything this time either. Hello, Grateful.
Yep.
So our Wolverine is going to sprint on in over here.
Got it. No shooting, just running.
That wheeled scout is getting so close. I feel like they could get LOS here if they wanted to. But he's hiding behind these rocks here, so this direction is not going to get them LOS. And the J. Edgar moves into this direction. Okay. And the Saladin does too. Like, they have to come around this way.
Ready for orders.
Sure. Our Jenner's going to sprint up over here. We're going to be getting close to getting LOS here. And we'll see what our allies decide to do. I really wish that the RogueTech mod authors would address this AI liking to sit at the edge of the map with one unit for no reason and waste a bunch of time problem. That would be a good problem to solve, in my opinion. But this is something that the AI does semi-regularly, and specifically with vehicles. And I wish that they didn't. They just sit here and waste a bunch of time.
Yeah?
Makes me sad.
All right. Full speed.
I don't know why they do that,
Waiting for orders.
but they do. So our mediums are really far behind, right? Like, they're not going to get anywhere anytime soon. You're going to have to come around here. Like, come on, Word of Blake. You can do it. What is this game about? This is BattleTech. It is... You can basically think of it as XCOM with mechs. So we're going to sprint up over here. And
Receiving you.
our Hollander is getting really close to
Perfect.
LOS here. So that's good.
Waiting for orders.
Our Jenner is incredibly close.
Full speed.
Probably get there next round. So that's
Yes.
great. We'll have this mission done very shortly.
Roger that. Going to full throttle.
This is, of course, the last unit that we need to defeat. And we'll see if our allies do anything of note. Pro tip, they won't. They're just sitting here behind this LOS, not doing anything. Makes me sad. Okay, now that we're this close, are you going to actually do something? There's a chance that they could take out our Jenner's leg here. And what's in that leg? Absolutely nothing. But replacing it would still be annoying. Hey, look! Here they come. They rammed us. So that's going to be a knockdown on our Jenner, probably? Nope, it wasn't heavy enough. Okay.
Ready for orders.
Yep. I think that the RogueTech mod authors need to fix this particular problem where it just sits at the edge of the map for like a million years. But we're going to kill this hover APC super easily here. It's already dead. Like, it was never a threat. It was just way out in the middle of nowhere. There we go. Do you read comments in the Hoi 4 series? In theory. In theory.
Down.
It's been a while, though. I'll be honest. It's been a while. All targets eliminated,
Successful.
so we will continue here. There we go. What do we get from salvage here? Well, there's not going to be a ton of salvage available here that's going to be any good. There's going to be some, like maybe a couple weapon systems, maybe an engine, FCS perhaps. We'll see. Hopefully that'll be decent. Any moment now, list. There we go. So we got almost a little over 600,000 there. Not too bad. The Jenner took some extra damage at the end there, but overall, these repairs won't be a problem. There are some commando parts here. There's also a bunch of goblin parts here. The goblin might be an interesting option for us. I don't think we have any other goblin parts. Double heat sinks are always very good. I'm going to grab the goblin parts here. We're only going to get 3. We did get the... Did we get the 4th? We did not get the 4th. That's okay. There's a light engine here, which honestly I'm probably just going to sell. I don't think that light engines are really very good. The light fusion engine is 75% the mass for the same performance, but intrudes into the side torso base of a battle mech. It does allow a mech to survive the destruction of a side torso, so that is... I guess we'll keep it around. It's okay. An Artemis FCS, not bad. We did get the double heatsink and sensor LRMs. Pass on those. Okay. Cool. So we are going to load this back in. We're not expecting a huge amount of damage here. It shouldn't be too bad. Yang should be able to get this put back together before the financial report easily. I hope. Any moment now, RogueTech. You can do it. I have faith. This is, of course, one of the worst parts of RogueTech. The loading screens are intense. Luckily, we don't have to worry about too many of them at this point. So it should be fine. Yeah, 23,009 days. It's not actually going to take 9 days, I don't think. But, yeah, it's actually going to take more along the lines of 6 days. That's fine. So we will proceed forward here. Get those repairs done. Cool.
I wrapped up that job you asked
So if the financial report is in 19 days at this point, let's take a look at our pilot records here.
Yes.
Waiting for.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody
Good.
needing
Good to
promotions?
I'm here.
What's up, boss?
Actually, Mongrel does. Cool.
Mech warrior training
There you go.
complete.
And
Ready
that's
for
it for now. Let's hop into the mech bay. I don't think we have a vehicle that we can ready up at this moment, but I want to double check that. So we'll hop into our storage and take a quick look. We've got 3 goblin parts. It would be nice to ready that, but it's not going to happen. 4 striker parts. Again, it would be nice to ready that. We don't quite have what we need there. Yeah, we just generally don't have a vehicle ready to go. So we'll have to deploy again here.
Greetings, Commander.
That's fine.
Come on in.
We could go for flying tigers here. This seems like a pretty simple mission. Although technically this one pays slightly better. This one is tempting. This is the same difficulty as the last mission we just did, but this is like 3 times as much pay. That usually means it's tougher. But we can run this straight down the middle. This is against Comstar. It's a battle against Comstar. So we need to consider that their lances are going to be 6 in size, and there could be 2 of them. Which means we could be outnumbered 3-1 here, in theory. If that's the case, we'll have to try to withdraw. Unless we're outnumbered 3-1 with, like, irrelevant units. Which is a possibility. And we might have allies as well. We'll give it a go. We'll just have to know it's a little bit risky here. This could be spicy. We'll see. So it's a battle in the jungle. We'll see what our weather effects are like. I do like that weather effects exist in the game now. That's a very nice addition there, to be sure. The real question is, just how many Comstar Lances will there be? Will it be 1? If it's 1, it should be fairly manageable. Will it be 2? If it's 2, it depends on the composition and whether we have an allied lance. If it's 3, we're just boned. I think there's no way around that. If it's 3, we gotta go. So we'll see how that ends up going. We need to destroy the Comstar Lance. Our intelligence confirms a lance of Comstar military units is engaged in maneuvers on Capola, within a region we control. This is an aggressive action, and Lyran operations are at risk as long as this lance is allowed to move unimpeded. Hunt down the enemy lance and eliminate it. This is a straightforward battle, Commander. Finding a military lance in a backwater like this should be no challenge at all. Indeed, it should not. But it probably will be, if I'm honest. Okay, so the intel claims that it's 1 lance, but the intel is always wrong. So you should not trust the
Reactor
intel here.
Online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Cool. Let's begin this mission, and we'll see what we've got.
Command interface initiated.
Oh, this map. Okay. They're amateurs, apparently. We do have allies. If they're up here, I would not like to be caught out traversing all of this. We can spawn down over this way. And so we shall. Okay. Well, that's a crosscut. That's a thorn. That's an Oscout. That's a stinger. Okay. No reservations necessary either because of that stinger. We see nobody too threatening. And the Lyrans are already firing as well. This isn't bad. I like it. It was risky, to be sure. This could have been a lot worse. That's a Locust, and I'm not sure what the 6th mech up here is, but a Vulcan? Okay. So the Thorn and the Vulcan are kind of the threats here. We're going to move up with our Hatchetman, and we're going to hit this Stinger. The Stinger has already moved, and it's taken no damage from those LRMs, sadly. But we will definitely fire our LBX at it and see what we can get done. A little bit of armor damage there. Nothing too major. That Locust moves up.
Standing by.
And our Hollander, I would like to position somewhere a little bit safer. Hello. It was frozen for a moment there. I'd like to position it a little safer than this, but here's where it'll be. 28% on this Stinger for the Gauss rifle. Odds aren't good, but if we hit it, it'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, we didn't hit.
Negative damage. Repeat. Negative
I'm
damage.
not shocked. Our allied Centurion moves up a bit. They're way back here, so they're going to have to fire LRMs. But that's okay.
Standing by.
Our Jenner is going to engage up over this direction. It will be in cover with 3 evasive, so we're hoping that it draws some fire from these guys up here. Hit odds are slightly higher on that Thorn. That's interesting. Is ER large and medium lasers are already destroyed? Huh.
Firing all weapons.
So we got a little bit of damage into the Thorn, but not much. We need to close in here, and that is definitely what we are working towards. Sprinting here is, I think, wasteful. We're going to move up with our Wolverine to here, and I'll try to hit this Stinger. Odds are not great.
Copy that.
We got a little bit of armor shred on it, not a lot. The ultralight LRM carrier does nothing. The Oscout does take the bait in firing at the Jenner. I like it. So they've crammed 3 mechs into this pass here. That's good for us. The crosscut moves up. We don't want to fight that guy in melee, if we can help it. Ah, LRM's onto the crosscut. Okay, only 6 damage, but that's fine. They have 3 phase 16 movers here, so this is fully half of their lance. These 2 here, and presumably the one that we don't know where, or rather when it moves. Just that small laser, yeah. And it completely missed. So yeah, that's a Locust there. It also fully missed the Hatchetman. I love it. That Locust is a little bit exposed here. It has 3 evasive. We'll see what our hit odds are like on it. The Stinger will move now. And we'll see where that goes. But if we can eliminate these guys before some of their numbers really take effect here, that would be huge. It moved up over here. It's in cover. That's fine.
Orders.
If this Thorn only has a small laser, then this isn't all that dangerous. But I don't want to do this regardless because we only have a 54% chance of successfully meleeing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up to here. We're going to be in this cover, and we're going to hit this Thorn and kind of flank them from here. Only 42% hit odds because of the sprint, but that's okay. We're going to hit this Thorn's side arc and get a decent amount of armor damage there. We also started a fire back here, which is okay, I guess. Not a huge deal. So this Oscout will move now. He's not threatening. For the moment, anyway. Let's see where they decide to put it. They jumped and fired on the Hatchetman, but they missed. Okay. Sounds good. No problem there.
Yes,
Our Hollander is going to advance up to here,
on my way.
where we can fire at basically anybody. We can take our pick here. Ooh, 70% on that Thorn. I love it.
Acknowledge.
That was a heavy hit.
I hit something good.
Sadly, we hit the arm there, and then the damage transferred into the torso. But that's fine. The crosscut is just running around over here. No problem for the moment. Phase 13 is going to be this Vulcan. We'll see what it decides to do. Shoots at the Wolverine, gets 22 damage. I don't care. It can do that all at once.
Yes, Commander.
The Hatchetman is going to close in here.
Move into position.
I'd love to get the kill on that Thorn, and odds are good on, like, everything here. Almost. I'm mostly just checking armor numbers right now. I think the Thorn is the way to go here.
Locked in all weapons.
Yep, that's one dead Thorn. Beautiful.
Mech destroyed.
Okay, so the Wolverine is going to move up to here.
Got it.
And the Wolverine's hit odds are a lot lower. We'll fire on the Locust for now, but hit odds aren't great. Ooh, we got the arm. So that Locust is going to be unsteady here.
Scored a critical
I would have
hit.
rather legged it, but that's fine. That Locust is incredibly vulnerable at this time. So our allies are still closing in, but they'll fire out at that Stinger. They got 4 damage. That's 4 more damage than we would have had if they weren't here, so I'll allow it. They're going to move this Stinger next. Okay. I'm just looking at when we move. We move pretty late here. The Stinger backs off. I think our Jenner has to be the one to go for the Locust here. This is very likely a kill.
Locked on for physical attack.
There we go. Took out the other arm.
That hits
It's
something.
not the best hits there, for sure. The Sling moves in and fires on that Locust, though. Takes out the hip. Doesn't destroy the leg. But the Locust has no weapons left. So it will move very shortly here, but there's more LRMs into the Locust. Sad. No leg destruction there. We'll see what it decides to do here. But it's basically a non-factor. It moved back to there, huh?
Receiving you.
We could just walk in and melee it. Alternatively, we could stay put, fire our Gauss at one of these guys out over this way, like the crosscut, and deal with it with another mech.
Firing all weapons.
And that's what we're going to do. The crosscut lost his evasive there. I was hoping that ultralight LRM carrier would fire at him because the crosscut moves now and gets his evasive back. But that's okay. So we could assign the Jenner, in theory, to running down this Locust. I think that's fine. Our Wolverine can move up to here. Sadly, we can't look at all of these. Hit odds are higher on the Oscout, but they're highest on the Vulcan. So we're going to position here, and we're going to fire out at that Vulcan. Odds are not the best, but we'll see what we get. Okay, decent armor damage there. Sounds good. So the Oscout is going to move now. And the Vulcan. Goes for the Hatchetman there. That's interesting. That's very
Waiting
interesting.
for orders.
Our Hatchetman is going to move up to here. And we're going to hit their Oscout just as hard as we can.
Roger.
Which is not very hard at all because we fully missed the LBX. That is painful. Okay. Their Vulcan moves up, goes for a Jenner. It does not hit, so that's good. Our friend the Centurion moves up and does literally nothing. So the Stinger will move now. And we'll see what we want that to do. Any moment now, Stinger. Okay, it moves up over to here. Goes for the Wolverine. Not a big deal. I like it. Yep, this seems completely fine. The Vulcan also moves up. We're very late in the move order at this point, which is sad. Our initiative rolls have not been the best. That sling moves up and fires on the crosscut, getting 0 damage dealt. Also, very, very sad. The crosscut moves back and fires on the Wolverine. Sure.
Commander.
And our Jenner, at this point, was going to be assigned to chasing down this Locust. So we're going to head over there, and we're going to potshot the rear arc of this Locust. We'll see what we can get done.
Copy that.
Okay, we got some damage in there. It's still alive.
Target's taken a critical hit.
It's got no armor left in its rear arc. Okay, phase 13 is going to be that Locust, which doesn't have anything it can do. Our Wolverine is going to move in and start attacking one of these guys. Hit odds are exactly the same. We're going to go for the Oscout here, and we're going to go for the rear arc. Yeah, the Vulcan can hit our rear arc, but we should be fine.
On it.
That'll be okay.
Targeting for physical attack.
So there's a successful melee attack on the Oscout. I love it. It may die here. Oh yeah, it's totally dead. Beautiful. So that's 2/3 of the lance gone. Of course, we can consider it half. This Locust is pretty useless. Took a little bit more damage from our ally there.
Hey there.
And at this point, our Hatchetman is going to walk up over this direction. 63 on that crosscut, huh? We'll take it. Slight overheat. Will not fire this medium laser, since that's the lowest chance. Leg destruction on the Oscout. I love it. That'll be a knockdown. So that'll be prime pickings for our Gauss rifle. Sounds good.
Let's do this.
So the Gauss rifle can at this point fire either of these. Hit odds are actually exactly the same. We're going to go for the crosscut since it's knocked down.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Cool.
Mess him up. Mess him up good.
So the crosscut is, like, super dead here.
Good to
The
go.
Hollander moves again, instantly, and that's a good initiative roll.
Affirmative.
That's one dead crosscut.
Mech destroyed.
So that's half of the lance destroyed. We've got this Stinger here, we've got this Locust here, and we've got this Vulcan up here.
Yep.
Our Wolverine is going to come over here and engage this Stinger. I would like to get a better kick than this, but I guess this one will have to do.
Understood.
We're probably going to miss it. We'll see. We did not miss it. Okay, that was quite a game freeze there, but it's all good.
How's that?
So that's going to be at least a knockdown on the Stinger.
Nice.
Yep, there we go. Fantastic. And
What's
at
up,
this
boss?
point, the Hatchetman is going to walk his way up over here.
Coordinates received.
I'd like to fire on that Vulcan, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Firing on target.
Get some armor stripped off of it. The sling moves up, goes for the Stinger. It gets the kill. I like it. 2/3 of the Comstar Lance have been destroyed. So now what? Well, our Jenner has got some really, really awkward initiative and is in phase 10 at this point. But we're going to go after that Locust, for sure, with the Jenner.
Waiting for orders.
This is the only direction we can melee attack from, but we'll take it.
Here we go.
We missed the melee, that's fine. What else do we hit?
Negative damage. Negative
Literally nothing. That is very unfortunate, but it is what it is. We should think about refitting the Jenner at some point. The Saracen goes for the rear attack on the Locust. It kills it with only a single missile. Well, you showed up the Jenner, that's for sure. So now we need to go after this Vulcan.
Waiting for orders.
The Hollander has a relatively clear LOS. We can position here and have an even more clear LOS. But it's in smoke, so it's going to be a little awkward, and we do miss. Okay.
How's it going?
Next up, our Hatcherman is going to close in here,
Move
and we're
order.
going to do what we can. There we go.
See how you like this.
Structure exposure, always good. Took out the AC-2. I think it was already out of ammo,
That
so
one's
that's
gonna
not a
leave
big
a mark.
concern.
Yeah?
And our Wolverine can close in. I want to be in this range band.
Heading out.
Cool.
Let her rip.
Nope, AC-2 ammo explosion. It
That
wasn't out of AC-2 ammo. A milk run just as we expected. Well, kind of. I mean, it was Comstar. So there is that. It certainly was Comstar. Well, as far as salvage goes, there'll be some decent salvage in this. That's for sure. Just as soon as the salvage decides to load on in. Europa 4 Lions of the North, available September 13th. Oh. Okay. I didn't realize this was coming. I just happened to see that in Steam right now. What is going on here? Rich in natural resources and medieval trading cities, the early modern Baltic is fertile ground for a rising empire. Whoever controls the Western Passage can dictate access to lands ripe for development, blah, blah, blah. It's a new immersion pack. New national missions. Okay. Expanded branching missions. New mission trees for Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Teutonic Order, Livonian Order, Riga, Poland, Lithuania, Commonwealth. Other mission tree changes. Some new units, new art, new music. It sounds like it's not a huge deal, but immersion packs are always nice. Okay, so what do we get from salvage here? They want the Thorn? They can have the Thorn. There's a couple of endo steels here. Okay. SLDF standard FCSs. Sure. Yep. I think we go for just endo steel structures here. Endo steel structures are really good. We do have one right now, but we're going to want them. I'll get rid of the C3 Slave. I never use that. We have an AC2 FCS. I'm not too concerned about that. And that all looks good. Beautiful. 3 new endo steel structures is amazing. I'm very, very happy to see that. So we'll hop in here, get our repairs good to go. We didn't take very much damage. It should be fine. I would be interested potentially in refitting the Jenner. We should think about doing that. So we'll let that load in for a bit here while I continue to peruse this expansion, or rather this immersion pack for Europa. Although I would, but BattleTech won't minimize. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. What else do we have on here? Well, let me just go ahead and wish list it. There we go. And yeah, that'll be in about 2 weeks. New music as well. Okay. Neat. Yeah, that's pretty much just a pretty minor thing, all things considered. It's not like By Blood Alone. Okay, so 17,500, not bad. Not bad at all. Let's go ahead and stop work on the Jenner, because I would like to refit the Jenner. We'll hop into the mech bay and get going on that. Come here, Jenner. I want to refit you. Beautiful. So with the Jenner being refit, this is what we're running right now. I think a C3 is completely pointless on the Jenner. And honestly, the Jenner moves quickly enough that I think jump jets are fairly pointless too. The unfortunate thing is we're very limited on hardpoints here. So if we were to do something like this, we could drop these medium lasers. We could upgrade our SRM. We could move our SRM ammo into this leg, and we could even keep the case. We can't put case in the leg? Okay, that's fine. We can move our SRM ammo down here. We can upgrade this SRM, in theory, to an SRM 6. Like so. We could even put in an additional ton of SRM ammo if we wanted to. Perhaps even AX or DF. Deadfire wouldn't be bad. So we can do something like this. And then as far as our weapons go, first thing I want to do is max the armor and see how much space we've got. Okay. So something like this. And then what if we were to put on endo steel structure? How much would that free up? 2 tons? That's not a lot. But it does free up some. And we would definitely want to run... I'm just looking at the heat of this thing. Heat of 9, huh? We could run a re-engineered medium laser here. And then we could run, like, a pair of medium lasers over here like we had before. I was thinking about maybe, like, pulse lasers or something like that, but we don't have any of those. So we're a little bit overweight here. But realistically, I don't think we need this much in terms of SRM ammo. We could just have the Deadfire. What's 100 divided by 6? Let's find that out. 100 divided by 6 is 16.6. So 16.6 repeating. So this is a lot of ammo, really. This is like 17 turns worth of ammo for it. I think that's okay. Our damage is going to be roughly the same. But we're going to be a lot more durable. And we're going to do more armor damage. Although we'll do a little bit less... Actually, we'll do about the same internal damage because of our SRM-6 with Deadfires. We'll actually probably do a little more. We've got a little bit of tonnage remaining here, but... Oh, we can max that out anyway. Yeah, those weren't maxed. Anything else not maxed in the armor? No, that all looks correct. Okay, and then we could maybe run, like, even just an improved FCS would be better. So something along the lines of this. We've got a little bit of tonnage left over. Well, let's get that done. That will take 19 days. The Jenner will not be available for a while. That's understood. We're not going to do any other major refits for the moment. And let's go ahead and tick forward here. So the Jenner will be ready when the financial report is. That's everything except the Jenner good to go. We can definitely deploy without the Jenner. It would be just fine. Let's hop into the barracks here.
Be with you in a second.
Yes,
There we go.
Waiting for...
Yes, Commander.
And this will be fine. We'll grab a point for live fire here.
Training complete.
Yes, boss.
Aye, aye. Ready.
And a point for magistrate.
Mech
There we
warrior
go.
Training complete.
Standing by.
All looks good. Okay, so I think we're ready to deploy here. Let's go ahead and do so. We'll leave the Jenner behind. I'm interested in potentially doing something somewhat simple here. So something kind of like this one, I think, is honestly fine. We should be able to breeze through it very, very easily. Right, we're going to have the Nidhogg here. That's actually kind of perfect. We can bring the Wolverine, and we would want Magistrate driving the Wolverine. Otherwise, this is all correct. Yes. Maximum of 400 tons, that's fine. We're at 180. So we've got our Nidhogg, and this should be super, super easy. So we're going to go ahead and deploy this, and while this is loading in, I'm going to go take a break real quick, and I'm going to grab some hydration here. So that'll be absolutely fine. I will be back in just a moment.